So Nintendo just dropped a surprise Star Fox Direct recently, and if you watched it, you might think you saw everything. But I'm going to show you something that is hiding right in the footage that most people completely missed. And once you see it, you're going to love how deep Nintendo went with this one. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So just in case you missed it, on May 6th, Nintendo Shadow dropped a surprise Star Fox Direct out of absolutely nowhere. And what they revealed is a full remake of Star Fox 64 for the Nintendo Switch 2. We're talking a massive graphical overhaul, all new fully voiced dialogue, a brand new orchestral soundtrack, new cutscenes including a prologue we've never seen before, and even online multiplayer with 4 vs 4 dogfights in a new battle mode. And it all launches on June 25th. Now, I've been an avid Nintendo gamer since the original NES days, so when a new Star Fox drops, especially one this loaded, I love to find all the extra stuff that Nintendo adds in. And almost at the end of this Direct, Nintendo hid something incredible. And what's cool about this is that it's not just a random fun detail. It's actually a message to the fans who have been with Star Fox since the very beginning. The Direct ends with this brand new prologue cutscene showing what happened to Fox McCloud's father, James McCloud. It's an emotional moment, it's beautifully rendered, but buried inside this cutscene, right on the side of Peppy Hare's Arwing, is something that is just absolutely brilliant. So if you pull up the Nintendo of America Star Fox Direct, I'll put a link in the description below, and just jump ahead to around the 15-minute and 42-second mark, right there, on the side of Peppy's Arwing, you can just barely make out some writing. And the first thing it says is Super FX Technology. Now, if you're a longtime Nintendo fan, those 3 words should hit you right in the nostalgia. The Super FX chip is the technology that Nintendo used to power the original Star Fox on the Super Nintendo back in 1993. It was basically a mini processor built right into the cartridge that allowed the SNES to render 3D graphics. Without that chip, Star Fox simply wouldn't be as cool as it is. So the fact that Nintendo wrote Super FX Technology on the side of an Arwing in a Switch 2 trailer, in a game that looks this incredible, is just such a cool nod to where this whole thing started. And that alone would have been enough of an Easter egg, but that is just the beginning. Because right below Super FX Technology, there's a second line of text. It reads, and I'll just put it right here on screen so you can see it clearly, CNPPG 0454966912719 for complete instructions. So let's break this down piece by piece because every single part of this code is intentional. First up, NPPG. So this stands for Nintendo Power Player's Guide. For those of you who might be too young to remember, Nintendo Power was Nintendo's official magazine. It ran from 1988 all the way to 2012. And they published these incredible strategy guides that they called Player's Guides for some of the biggest Nintendo games ever made, and they absolutely made one for Star Fox 64. That long number right after NPPG, 04549669127, that is an actual ISBN number. So basically what Nintendo did here is take a real book, the Nintendo Power Star Fox 64 Strategy Guide, look up its actual ISBN, which is the unique book identification number, and put it right there on the side of Peppy's Arwing in a Switch 2 game in 2026. And bingo! If you look that number up, it takes you straight to that original Nintendo Power Guide from 1997. That is just so awesome, the level of detail that they put into this. And now for the last part of the code, 97-10. This is actually a reference to October 1997, which is when Star Fox 64 launched in Europe. Now here's a fun little detail. When Star Fox 64 launched in Europe, it wasn't even called Star Fox 64. It was called Lylat Wars. So that 97-10 is a little tip of the hat specifically to Nintendo fans in Europe who grew up with the game under a completely different name. So just to recap what Nintendo packed into this one tiny piece of text on the side of an Arwing, a reference to the Super FX chip from 1993, the ISBN of the original Nintendo Power Star Fox 64 Strategy Guide from 1997, and a shout out to the European launch. You can tell that this was all intentional, not accidental, and I think that is just fantastic. Now, here's what makes this really exciting to me. If Nintendo hid this level of detail in the reveal trailer, right there in the footage before the game has even come out, just imagine what's waiting for us inside the actual game on June 25th. Because historically, Star Fox 64 is already packed with secrets. Alternate routes, hidden medals, the Landmaster tank, the Blue Marine submarine. This remake adds brand new cutscenes, brand new dialogue, brand new modes. The number of secrets and Easter eggs that are just sitting in this game right now waiting to be found is... well, I am definitely going to be looking for those and covering them in this game when it launches. So if you want to be the first to know when I find those secrets, and I'm going to be looking from when I very first start playing this game, just make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a single video. There you have it, just like that. The Nintendo Power Easter egg hiding right in the Star Fox Switch 2 reveal, and everything you need to know to find it yourself. Peppy's Arwing, 15 minutes and 42 seconds into the Nintendo Direct, 3 layers of hidden meaning all packed into one tiny line of text. I just really appreciate when Nintendo takes the time to do things like this. It shows how much they care about the history of the franchise and the fans who have been along for the whole ride. I would love to hear from you. Did you catch this Easter egg the first time you watched the Direct? Drop a comment down below and let me know. And if you are as excited for Star Fox Switch 2 as I am, take a look at the other Nintendo videos I have posted. There's plenty more where this came from. Thank you all so much for watching. I can't wait for June 25th.
I'm losing altitude. Peppy, you need to get out of here. Warn the general.
Not without you, James.
That's an order. And Peppy, keep an eye on Fox.